All right, so this is going to be a very interesting. We have some exclusive information that I just stumbled across, something that Brownells probably didn't mean to make publicly available. This is their actual best selling SKUs from the last couple of weeks here. This is real sales data, no marketing fluff here. It's actually what people are spending their money on right now. And I feel like it might surprise you. So I've got the SKU numbers, I've looked up the prices, and some of these items, let's just say if you're wondering if the market is headed in a specific direction, well, this could be your crystal ball. So I'm Nick with Eagle Run 23, and I make videos about building guns, fun stuff like that. So here's how I got this data. I am a Brownells affiliate, and they sent out these partner emails with some sales analytics and some reporting and things like that. And what I found is basically we have a list here of their top 10 movers over the last couple of weeks. And before we dive in, remember that Brownells isn't publishing this. They're not pushing anything. It's not what influencers are hyping. There's no YouTube agenda here. This is what people are actually opening up their wallet for and spending their money on. So let's break down the top sellers by category because there are some serious patterns here. Uppers and receivers, 4 of the top 10 spots. Primers are still dominating despite the availability. Some interesting high-end accessories from Law Tactical and Geisley. And then there's a really interesting one here at the end that I don't know what it's there for. Maybe you guys can help me figure it out. But one of these items is $5,000, which is a little bit shocking, but it's actually a product I hadn't heard of. I had to look it up. The product is called Fight Light Industries, and it is the MCR belt-fed upper receiver. This thing retails for over $5,000, and for it to be on Brownells' top list is pretty curious. This isn't a typical AR upper. This is a semi-auto belt-fed system that turns your lower into something that looks like it should be off the side of a helicopter. 16 1/4 inch barrel. It takes standard AR mags in addition to feeding from the disintegrating link belts, which I don't know that I've ever actually seen those for sale anywhere. I don't even know where you get them, but why is this selling in the first place? Novelty factor, that would be off the charts. Secondly, the function, maybe not just a range toy. Political uncertainty, these things like this. People are buying some unique stuff while they still can. But at this price point, it's not an impulse buy, so I'm to assume these people are planning their purchases, which tells me that the high-end market is maybe stronger than we think sometimes. All right, the next thing on my list is from Federal. This is their Champion Large Magnum Rifle Primers. You get 1,000 of these in a box. They're $98, which isn't a crazy good price. But the interesting thing about this is it's not just your standard large. These are Magnum, so that means people aren't just reloading their 308. They're doing some long-range Magnum. Maybe even some people found that 8.6 Blackout works pretty well with Magnums as well. Who knows? But the fact that primers are still on this list at all and they're still a top seller in 2025 probably tells us that shortage mentality that's out there really hasn't gone away. People see primers in stock and they buy them. And at the current prices, 8, 9, 10 cents per primer, depending on where you shop. This is not a killer deal, but it's a decent deal, being that they're under 10 cents a primer. So, cool. Daniel Defense is dominating the next ones here. These are some of these clone-style military build type stuff. I don't own a single Daniel Defense thing. Maybe we should change that. But 3 of the top spots are a Daniel Defense item. We've got the M4A1 SOCOM uppers. They're taking up 2 spots. And the MK18, which is a stripped upper in this case, this particular SKU, is taking up another spot. And these aren't cheap. They're $800-900. But the M4A1 SOCOM is a 14.5-inch stripped upper, and the MK14, which is closer to $700. People are buying them because I guess they want that military clone look. The 14.5, though, that length is telling. It is definitely a sweet spot for people looking for enough range, but also, and velocity, but also short enough that it can be handy. Also, suppressors. A little bit shorter barrel with a suppressor, and then you're kind of back to your normal length. So it's also a pretty common military length as well. You can pen and weld those. That way you're legal, and then staying shorter overall for the suppressors. I think that's pretty cool. I don't have one of these. I probably should get one. I don't have a 14.5 either. Interesting, because these are stripped uppers, or like a complete upper. People aren't buying complete guns on this list. They're buying components, which I think is really cool as a big firearm builder proponent. That's a trend that we're seeing more and more of. I guess there's no real surprise here that these last couple items are a high-end accessory. High-end accessories always sell, even though they're expensive. People save up for them. And this Law Tactical folder that's on the list, around 250 bucks. Lets you fold that stock down for storage or vehicle use, things like that. You can't use them when they're folded, but mostly for storage. It's cool, and it looks cool. Then the other item here, another high-end component, the Geissele Super Duty. Geissele's got a reputation for making great triggers, but obviously they make other components as well. Serious players in the complete uppers, hand guards, things like that, and that DDC Desert Dirt color is really stinking cool. I don't have anything in that color, and I think I might need to get one of those. I actually like that color so much, I asked my Cerakote guy, and he thinks he can mix and get close to it, so maybe you'll see something like that in the future. Next on the list is a 6mm 109 grain Berger hybrid bullet. The fact that Precision Components are making this list is really cool. Just on a general bestseller list, we're getting some long-range shooter. That's more mainstream than ever. It hasn't typically been that way. But we're talking 6 ARC and 6 GT. That 105, 6, 7, 8, 9, 110 grain, that is the sweet spot for that caliber. And that's really cool to see the Berger bullet on there. I'm going to be running my 6 ARC as well as potentially a 6 GT. I'm planning on going with the Sierra bullets. They have a couple of good options, and we like Sierra. All right, so that's the end of the list, but what does this tell you? It tells me that people maybe still have money that they're willing to spend. I know the economy's tough out there, but when a $5,000 upper is on a top list, that's shocking. Second, that our building trend, we love to build guns. The building trend is stronger than ever. Most of this list being components and not complete firearms. I think that's pretty cool. Also, clones are super cool. I think that's where the SOCOM and some of these uppers that are on there, I think that's what people are doing with them. They want to use the good stuff, and they want to maybe use what professionals use. But again, no surprise that the high-end stuff is on here. I think people do like that Law Tactical folder. I don't have one. Maybe I should get one. But again, it's cool to see what people are actually buying. Now, I'm curious if you are surprised as I was by any of these things. Did you expect to see a belt fed on this list? I think that's kind of cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you want more insider data like this, first video I've done like this, so we'll see if you guys are as interested in some of the things that I am. I love reports and numbers and things like that. So seeing this real market data is more interesting than maybe listening to someone just hype something up for no reason. But all of the links to these things are in the blog. It's listed down below. You can go through and see every SKU that's on here, and that link is in the description. All right, thanks again for watching. Eagle Run 23 here. We'll see you next time.